Hey everyone, Ryan Young, Kama Jiu-Jitsu. And I'd like to answer a question that hit us on the Facebook page. Hello, Professor Ryan. I'm a blue belt from Montreal. I've been watching your videos and really enjoy the topics and clarity of your explanations, particularly the Jiu-Jitsu secret formula. I have a topic I've been thinking about. Would you take degrees off of a belt if a student is smashing a smaller, lower graded student? We know beginners tend to do moves that aren't that particular nice. But sometimes old habits stay when encountering problems. What do you think? So, if someone is smashing another student, if it's a smaller student that is brand new, then yes, it won't happen. But if it's a smaller student that's been training for a while, getting smashed by another student, it could be a beginner, it could be a more advanced student, then that smaller student has been around long enough to make the determination whether they're getting smashed to a degree that they're not comfortable with anymore. The question that I always ask a student when you're approaching that is, am I uncomfortable or am I likely to get injured? Those are two different questions. So if you're uncomfortable, keep training. But if you're likely to get injured, of course, stop. One thing that I do not tolerate, and that Dave doesn't as well, is somebody injuring somebody. Now, their style of jiu-jitsu or their aggressiveness or their roughness, granted we are in a rough sport, but their style may cater or more contribute to more injuries. And a lot of it has to do with lack of control on the injurer, the person doing the injuries on somebody else. They just don't have control. Because most people who've trained for a while can handle pressure. You can handle movements that we do in jiu-jitsu. If it's one person who's a common link that keeps creating injuries with everybody else, then that becomes a problem. I always make sure that our students always take care of each other. Granted, you need to still be responsible for protecting yourself, but at the same time, you need to also watch out for other people as well. We're all trying to train, we're all trying to learn, we all have to go to work tomorrow morning, and we all have to be with our families and all that. We don't want to be laid up due to injury. If I have someone who seems to be malicious in the way they do things, obviously they're gone. We don't need that type of person in our academy. The old meathead, right? And then you have the person who injures people accidentally. Now, they don't intend to injure people, but I'm gonna need to work with them to get them to have a little more control in what they're doing so they don't unintentionally injure somebody. If that unintentional injury situation continues, then jiu-jitsu at our studios is not for them. Not so much taking down rank, pulling stripes off of somebody's belt. No, that was a long time ago when I was training. It was that if any blue belt injured a white belt, then that blue belt would get stripes taken off, or if they had no stripes, they get the blue belt taken away. I've never seen it happen, but I think that is enough of an incentive for somebody to think, oh, well, I guess I'd better show a little more care when I'm training with somebody, because you work hard for your rank. You don't want to lose your rank, for something like that. That's totally preventable. In answer to the question, it's a tough call, but it's up to the instructor to try to mitigate the situation ahead of time. Now, there's always going to be a situation where an accident happens. That's why we call it an accident. People sign up for that when they sign on for a jiu-jitsu contract. That there is a possibility of injury. You're not, this isn't just sitting on a couch. But at the same time, we do like to make sure that we cut down the possibilities of injuries where we can. And even when it comes down to teaching people how to do the exercises correctly, how to position their feet correctly, that will help to mitigate a lot of injuries, as we call learning injuries, going forward. Because when I look back and I think about the times that I was injured, most of my injuries happened when I was a white belt or a blue belt. So I hope that answered your question. And in the meantime, if you'd like to help the channel out, we've got some links below in the description box for some books that I think are really good, that I have myself. If you click on them and you make a purchase, then you help out the channel. If not, that's fine. Keep enjoying what you're watching. Take care. Thanks for joining us. Happy training. Bye-bye.